What's up, everybody, and happy Thursday. Trey Griggs here, founder and CEO of Beta Consulting Group, and you are here for episode 218 of Standing Out, a podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about sales. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but hopefully you're having a great end to your week. Hope the freight is flowing, maybe the cigars are smoking, and that you are having a wonderful day. It is the first day of March Madness. We've already had an upset. Furman took down Virginia. If you picked Virginia in your bracket, sorry about that. In fact, if you picked any team in the bracket that had the word Virginia in it, you're already down 2 teams because West Virginia already lost as well to Maryland. So are you watching the tournament at the office? I bet you are. I bet you got the tournament on, and you should. It's March Madness, everybody. All right, listen, today's guest, we got a great conversation today. This guy, I've met him just recently and learned about what they do. I met him at Manifest and had a chance to talk to him over the past couple of weeks, which has been really great. Learning about factoring for brokers and the technology they're providing. So very excited. Please welcome to the show today, my friend from Denim, Brandon Caldwell.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'm gonna head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake press. Find a nest.
What's up, brother?
How are you, buddy? How are you?
It's a good song. It's a good walk-up song.
It's a staple of my childhood with my brother. 100% teenage boy.
Nah, I love it. Listen, you got to take it back a little bit. When did this come out, by the way? What year? Do you know what year this came out?
1990s? Late 90s?
No, I don't think it was the 90s. I think it was in the 2000s.
Yeah, it might be 2002 or something like that. Maybe then. I don't know.
I feel like I would know if it's the 90s. I'm a 90s kid. Like I know most songs from the 90s, but 2000s, it's like after college, I was trying to learn what life was all about. I wasn't really listening to music as much. Yeah. So I think
he came out with that Ba It to Ba, the Ba It to Ba, Bang to Bang.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments, look that up. What year did Cowboy come out? What year did that song come out? I gotta know. It's kind of crazy. All right. Well, are you watching March Madness? Are you watching the tournament today? Be honest.
I mean, guilty.
You got it up. Right? Yep. Guilty is charged.
Right. Guilty. Sure. Definitely up in the office. 100%. We got my Wildcats, I think, either coming on right now or just after this starting.
It's been a wild start to the tournament so far.
Yeah.
We had Furman that just came back and stunned Virginia with a last second 3. That was awesome if you were watching that. And West Virginia went down. They were a Big 12 team. I thought Big 12 was going to do really good. They're currently 0-1 right now. So we'll see how that turns out. They got beat by Maryland. Who do you have winning the whole thing? Who's your pick?
Oh, my Wildcats, of course.
So you're the kind of guy that you pick your team even if there's really no chance. That's how you do it. Right?
I have to ride. I have to ride. I got.
So you clearly don't have money on this bracket, is what I'm saying.
No. I don't have money on it. But I mean, it's a pride thing, right? It's just for pride. I'd love for my boys to get there. Maybe Final Four appearance would be great. I don't know. Awesome. I mean, UCLA was a little injured when we beat them in the Pac-12 championship, right? But we performed. We showed up. We'll see what happens.
So if you were putting money on a bracket, do you have a team that you would pick? Have you paid close attention? Who do you think's really got a shot?
Man. Texas?
Yeah, they played KU really tough. Obviously, they played really well recently. Alabama, KU to repeat.
Alabama's hard to root for right now, but I mean, I like them. I mean, Alabama's always hard for me to root for, right? Of course, they've got the best shot, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I have a weird bracket. I've got an all Big 12 Final Four and K-State winning it, and I did that because I always lose to my 8-year-old niece. It doesn't even matter who I pick, and of course, there's no money on it. So I went a little different this year. So we'll see what happens. Big 12 does well, and K-State does well. I got a shot. So we'll see how it goes. All right, Brandon, let's talk about you. This is all about you today. Tell us a little bit about who you are, who you work with, and we're going to dig into your journey a little bit. So a little introduction for yourself.
Oh, man, don't even know where to start. So born and raised Mesa, Arizona, currently still live in Gilbert, Arizona now. So get to enjoy the Gulf 24/7. Not 24/7, 365 days a year, right? Beautiful.
Maybe 24/7 if you got some lights out there. That'd be
There's a story behind that, but yeah, we could touch on that later. Anyways, got started in logistics back in 2013. Was introduced to logistics brokerage, worked at Global Trans for a little while. They're in Scottsdale with the Letos. From there, transitioned over to Mach 1 Global Air Services, Mach 1 Global Services, now acquired by Omni Logistics, I believe. My journey's kind of wild, right? So I got my hands on a little bit of everything from there. Went into business equipment financing and leasing. And then I went into cybersecurity sales, so tech sales, and then found myself wanting to get back in logistics. And so what better way to combine the brokerage experience, the finance experience, and the tech experience? And I found like my perfect fit with Denim, right? I mean, we really bring all that to light, and it's been a wonderful journey ever since. So currently the enterprise sales rep here, great team of remote sales team, which is, I'm sure we'll touch on that at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great. Been loving it.
So your experience is kind of like mine in that it's quite diverse, is what we'll say. And it's funny when you're on that journey, a lot of times you look at the journey and go, where am I headed in life? Like, where is this going? What is this doing? But it's when you look back and go, oh, it's all kind of leading a path to some destination or some next step along the way. And clearly all those experiences for you, have that. I've got a similar story. I sold tech, I sold services mainly to brokers, but I've been in sales and marketing for the last decade, a little 12 years, and I got to see it good and bad. I was at companies where it was really good. I was at companies where it wasn't quite as good. And I got to see a little bit of all of it. And that's really shaped my ability to help companies with their sales and marketing. And so you look back and you see the steps that you took with brokerage, with cybersecurity technology, and with financing. And it all, like you said, comes together with what you guys are doing over at Denim. So tell us real quick, what exactly is Denim doing? What problem are you guys solving?
Yeah, freight payment system. Focusing primarily on the broker, right? We found historically in the marketplace, factors were primarily focused on the asset or on the carrier business, right? I mean, that's just, everybody knows this, right? Even when I got started in the industry, it was still surprising to some brokers. Broker factoring, what are you talking about, right? We came in to fill that niche, that hole, that gap, right? So that's where we've been focused, hoping that we've brought a really, really good product to market. Been partnering with some great partners, so it's been wonderful. We're on a great journey right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm the same way. I always thought that factoring was for carriers. That's the path that it went down. But the truth is, brokers and cash flow is a real issue. It can be a real problem. I just heard one person today say that I think Samantha Jones said that they got a notice from one of their customers that they were changing their terms to 120 days immediately without negotiation. And that's it. Like, you just have to take it. And you're thinking, well, that's 4 months and you need to pay a carrier within 15 days at the most, if not faster. Maybe not quite that you don't have to right now. There's a lot of capacity out there, but still, like, you pay the carrier a lot sooner. And man, like, hold that invoice for 90 days before you get paid.
120-day terms. That's getting paid 3 times a year. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, we got payroll, we got tech, we got licensing, we charge, all the natural overhead, right? Plus then having to float payables to take care of my drivers. It can be tough for some brokers, right? So,
yeah. And I never really thought about that because, brokerage, the overhead is so much lower than with a carrier. They have mainly technology and human resources, essentially, is what they have, but you don't have as many assets. But you just don't think about the cash flow side of it. And I heard somebody say this also recently. I was talking to someone else in the industry that said, most brokers, when they get started, can't survive without factoring at the beginning because they just they're not sitting on a bundle of cash typically. And so they oftentimes have to, resort to factoring to get it done. So it's a lot bigger of an industry and a market than I realized, I think, is what I got out of that.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's become more of an integral part of the ecosystem of technology that the brokerage is able to build, right? So we've got a nice, good fit in that mold. And we've become an important aspect of the business, to our partners.
Yeah, and it's just weird that I've been in the industry for a long time. I just never really realized this was an issue, but it clearly is. So when you think about what you guys are doing with factoring for brokers, bringing technology into play, what is your differentiator at Denim compared to some of the other? There are a couple of other players out there who are doing this. What's your differentiator for your customers?
Absolutely. So first off, we're able to service the broker from your startup brokerage. You mentioned how important this is, right? To a new broker trying to get off the ground, right? From your startup broker all the way up to your enterprise business, right? So we've got the flexibility. We've moved all the way upstream in order to be able to service those larger customers. Where we differentiate ourselves, I believe, is in our flexibility, right? So we provide flexible payments, knowing that our broker partners require flexibility. Not every brokerage, maybe the workflow or operations may be similar, but how that's performed is different from broker to broker. And so we're able to match the needs and the requirements of our partners in order to be that perfect partner for them.
Nice. And I think I love what, I had a chance to take a quick peek under the hood of what you guys are doing. And I love the fact that there is some flexibility and customization in what you're doing within a software platform. 'Cause it's always hard to do that, but you guys have found a way to make that happen, which is really exciting. What's been the response from, from brokers in terms of technology? Because I think that factoring technology has just really come on the scene as of late in terms of offering a really good tool. What's been the response from brokers in terms of the technology and how it's, impacting their business?
Oh man, we've seen brokers. We've got success stories on our website, denim.com.
And how'd you get that website? That's what I want to know. Denim.com. That's impressive. That website had to be bought by somebody back in 2001. They're just holding on to it.
I don't know. Someone got lucky, right? Someone got lucky. So I don't know who that someone is.
Prime internet real estate right there.
You got that right. You got that right. No, but I'm sorry. Revert to the question again one more time.
I was just saying, what kind of response have you gotten from brokers about how this really impacts their business?
Absolutely. Yeah. So success stories on our website for sure, but really been able to see the majority of our broker partners grow 2.5 times within the first 12 months of being partnered with us. So really been able to see some substantial growth simply by, a number of things, but first and foremost, providing them time back to focus on revenue, right? I was a former broker in my lifetime. I can tell you this right now that I hated administrative work. We all did, right? We want to focus.
Some people like it. Let's not disparage those that like paperwork.
Broker want to be on the phone, want to be contacted. We got some freight to handle, right? So,
and let's just say thank you to all the people that like to do paperwork. Let's just say
thank you. Absolutely. But no, we really want to be able to take that off their shoulders, right? And so by doing that, they've become more efficient. The technology is now working for them, not against them, and being able to provide them time back for however they want to spend it, right? Back in their work, back in their family, whatever it may be, right? That's for them.
Yeah. I think that's really important that they get the time back, and that they, I think it creates a little bit more of a runway, a little more, just, I guess we'll call it margin, not like profit margin, but margin in their business where they just have a little bit more time and flexibility to do what they need to do. So I think that's really powerful. All right. What I really want to talk to you about today, though, is you have, and a lot of companies are doing this now. In fact, I think out of COVID, this has become a real concern or a real challenge for a lot of people, is how do you really build a dynamic team virtually? Because that's really what a lot of companies have moved to. Not all of them, but certainly from a tech perspective, you can hire people all over the company or all over the country. You can have a sales team or marketing team really sitting anywhere. You've been focusing on the sales side of it. And I think this is an area where people have to learn some new skills. People have to do things differently than if everybody's sitting in your office. You guys have basically built a team virtually. Talk a little bit about what you guys have set up today and some of the things that you've learned along the way that's made it successful.
Absolutely. So, we've done a number of things. First and foremost, our technology, our tools, right? We use things in order to communicate, to stay active with each other, to keep well connected, right? Slack, for example. Wonderful tool, right? Google Meets, having frequent, often one-on-ones with our managers, with our direct supervisors or our peers, whatever it may be. I personally like to send out little hype videos every so often to the sales team. And actually, I got a funny story because you're gonna like this one. Hayden Allred, okay?
Oh yeah, my boy Hayden. Yeah.
So I've never met Hayden, believe it or not, but Hayden Allred back a couple years ago actually, used to randomly send me these hype videos on Fridays. I had no clue who this guy was, right? Just knew that he used to work at Global Trends at one time. I used to work at Global Trends one time. I'm in the business equipment industry at this time, right? So, but he used to send me these hype videos, and I thought it was the perfect thing to get someone like this really going, right? And it really, it resonated with me, and I wanted to bring that back to my team. So, something
that's so on brand for Hayden. Yeah. That is so on brand for Hayden to do that. But there's something about that it makes it just a little bit more personal, creative video, that kind of thing. We actually have one of your hype videos that we might as well show. Here's a sample of one of the hype videos that you sent out. You didn't approve it, but we're going to play it anyways. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
You know what today is? It's Wednesday, It's the penultimate day before Thursday, and then it's Friday, and then it's the weekend. Well, guess what? We're coming up on end of quarter 2, and you know what? Those prospects are waiting for you. They're not ghosting you. You just left them speechless. Give them a call. Pick up the phone. They're waiting on you. Let's go. Let's close some business. Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3, go.
That sounds like maybe you took it out of Hayden's playbook a little bit right there. That kind of
100% right there, dude. That's funny that I pointed it out as soon as, yep, 100%. Absolutely got that.
Well, I'm passionate about this because I think this really is the way of the future. Yes, there are some businesses where you do need to be, on site. Certainly if it's a service-based business like a manufacturing or, cleaning business or something like that, obviously you need to be at the location. But for other jobs that don't have to be, I think this is going to be the preferred way of the future. People don't have to travel and commute. They get more time with their family. They're pretty much, a lot of times more productive because they're not getting those side conversations necessarily. Yep. But you have to still find a way to keep them connected and create culture. And, I learned a lot of that when I was at Lean. I had a virtual team down in Colombia. And now our entire company is virtual. And so we've learned a couple of things along the way. What are some of the tricks that you've learned along the way to make sure everybody stays connected, not only to you, but to each other, and that you're really building a strong culture, even with them not in the office?
Yeah, great question. So for one, we do quarterly offsites, or now I believe they're biannual now. Everybody meets up, cities somewhere in the country. We've done Chicago, Minneapolis, Phoenix, Atlanta, Denver. We've done it quite a bit. So it's an exciting time for the company to be all together for a week. We do a bunch of different games, events, have guest speakers come in, but we're all together for that entire week. And it really does help, connect for one, the people that you, for one, are talking to virtually on a day-to-day basis, right? But it really helps develop that culture. Secondly, the next thing, company all-hand meetings, team meetings on a weekly basis, one-on-ones. It's not unusual for us just to open up a chat or open up some sort of video conference with one another throughout the day, just to kind of check in with one another. So we do things like that.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to the first one. Those are two really great ideas. The first one, though, I think is great because if you're saving money on office space, you're not having people come into the office. Why not invest some of the funds in these types of activities? And what I've heard from companies that do that, and we do that as well. I went out to Portland back in January to spend time with our team. I got 2 members out there. And, one thing I realized is that a lot of times that time becomes really productive and really focused because it's limited, because it's only a week or only a couple of days or whatever it is. You get a lot done. And people are excited to see one another, have some fun, play some games, those types of things. I think that's a really, really valuable portion of what you guys are doing. And what's the reason you went from quarterly to annual? Is it just the cost, or was it too much? Like, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, great question. I think it's probably maybe a little bit of both. For one, I think it's just that, the economy that we're in today is a little bit different, and it's not unusual for companies to have to scale back on things like that. So, that's got to be, we take that into consideration for sure. But we do it as frequent as we possibly can. I think we've got DC coming up here in a couple months. It's going to be super fun. I've never personally been to DC, so
really, it's great. So you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a day early.
Especially in May. You don't want to go in midsummer, and you don't want to go too early because they get some cold weather. I think, in fact, this week it's been in the 20s. So good thing you didn't go this week.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. And you probably still see them at trade shows from time to time, depending on who goes. So you still get to have a little bit of a connection. But I think that's really critical. The second one that you said, I think, is an underused one. And that is, a lot of times we think of video calls as for meetings only.
No.
One thing that we've done is you just jump on a video call as a team and you work.
Yep.
And it's not like you're really talking to each other, but you're together. And then if something does come up, you come off of mute and you start talking and you get some instant collaboration. Yep. You could talk about March Madness or something else that's going on and kind of get that feel of community, but saying, hey, we're all going to jump on a Zoom call for the next 2 hours, keep working, do what you do, but we're going to have some conversations from time to time. That can be a really beneficial way to create some of that instant collaboration that you miss when you're not, in an office together.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree with you there.
Yeah. How often do you guys do that? I'm curious. Is that something you do every day? Is it a couple times a week?
You know what? The SDR team does it every single day. Every day they keep a bridge open. They jump in and out. Definitely beneficial for them because they're the front line, right? So we do it, AE team probably, I don't know, once a week. We do like a Monday morning little huddle, quick little, hey, get together, pump each other up type thing. But yeah, it just depends periodically.
I love that. And I my recommendation for a leader would be turn on a Zoom call, just turn your camera off and have a waiting room. And that way, if somebody wants to come by and talk to you, they can knock on the door, essentially jump in the waiting room, and you can have an instant, meeting, or you can leave it open as if the door is open, and almost treat it like an office and have office hours. I think there's some things you can do to be really creative to, in some ways, mimic that office feel and create the culture. But you have to be intentional about it, and I think that's where the importance really lies, is being intentional.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you there.
All right, Brandon, we got to pause because every day we like to have a little bit of fun on the show. As you know, you watch the show on Tuesday. And so today we're going to celebrate the National Day. You may have done some research ahead of time to find out what the National Day is. I don't know. Do you know what today's National Day is?
Oh, man. So, yeah, transparent. I was prepped. I don't know. Artichoke?
There are several options, but we tend to only choose one. We actually chose National Panda Day. And, but you could go artichoke, but artichoke.
No, pandas are much better.
Pandas are definitely better. I mean, okay, artichokes that are like artichokes and Brussels sprouts that are crispy, I could deal with that.
Yeah.
But we're going to stick with panda today. It's National Panda Day. Have you ever seen a panda, like at a zoo? You ever seen a panda in person?
God, probably, maybe. I don't know. God, not recently.
I have not. I don't even know what zoos have pandas. I'm not sure which ones. Only a few do. There's not a lot.
Yeah, polar bears, but not pandas.
Polar bears, yes, but not panda bears. I don't know. I think maybe in DC they might have one. Maybe in Atlanta.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Somebody Google that for us and let us know, but I'm not sure about that. But it is National Panda Day. I don't know what that means. I do like Panda Express. Does that count?
Should we have Panda? You know what? No. That's not a bad dinner option for this evening.
It's a great dinner option. And in fact, I'm taking my daughter out tonight. We may have to stop there on the way to her rehearsal practice. So that might be it. But it's National Panda Day, everybody. So enjoy whatever that means to you, whether that's eating at Panda Express or maybe looking at pictures of cute pandas on the internet, whatever it is.
There you go.
All right, Brandon, we also have another game that we're going to be playing. This is time for the Standing Out Trivia game. It's a pop quiz. You didn't know this was coming, did you?
No, didn't.
All right. We've got 5 questions. We're going to see if you know some random trivia today, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So first question is, who is depicted on the U.S. $100 bill? Came out of the gates easy on you. You got this one. That's right. It's Benjamin. Yeah, talking about the Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamin.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Ben, man.
That's right. Ben Franklin. That's right. Okay. Next question. Area 51 is located in which U.S. state? You might know this because
Nevada, man.
It's in Nevada. For those who haven't been there, it's pretty close to Portillo and a couple other places in there. Yeah, there's Route 66. You'll get close. On Route 66.
It was originally called something Lakes or like something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I forget. Groom Lakes.
The history lessons that you learn when you grow up in Mesa, Arizona.
I'm a documentary guy. A lot of time on
Me too. All right. Also, an Arizona question. What river flows through the Grand Canyon? You're 2 for 2 so far.
Ooh, salt. Or no, Colorado.
Oh man, we gotta go with salt. Colorado. You said salt. I can't. I don't know if I can give you credit on that, man.
Colorado.
It is the Colorado River. Okay, all right. Next, this sport is called the American pastime. What is it?
Baseball.
There you go, baseball. And you're in Mesa, home of the Chicago Cubs spring training. I do know that.
A lot of
several, but Chicago Cubs I know is right there. Yeah, that's true. All right, so you're kind of like 4 for 4. If we give you the middle one, if we give you the Colorado River one, you're 4 for 4. So let's see if you can get a perfect 5 for 5. This one's a little more difficult, depending on if you're a fan. What is James Bond's preferred drink of choice?
Dry martini, shaken, not stirred.
Ooh, you gave more detail than even we were asking for. We just put martini. That is a 5 for 5. Congratulations. You knocked it out of the park.
Let's go.
Well done. I think we have like some kids. There you go. Yeah, we got to get kids training on that. So that's kind of
perfect.
Well done. 5 for 5. We got to have harder questions. That was way too easy. Like that was way too easy. I mean, we're 5 for 5 on that. I was hoping for a 3 for 5, but those questions were way too easy. All right. Yeah, Brooke, Aliens, Area 51. You been there? Awesome. All right, we got to close this show out here in just a little bit. So we're going to finish with this. So talk a little bit about this is always really important to me. So you're really focused on the sales side, the SDRs and sales reps at Denim, but I really want to hear your perspective on how you see sales and marketing really working together. Because I'll say this, I really believe that sales and marketing is one team that works in two divisions, but a lot of companies don't necessarily see it that way. How do you approach the relationship between sales and marketing?
I mean, it's pretty fluent. So for one, marketing falls under revenue, right? So marketing, sales, all part of the revenue team. So, in reality, we are all essentially one team. It's an important driver of pipeline into our business, right? And we understand that, we capture that. They do a lot of work on the back end, helping drive that demand. And it's we've got a great relationship with them. They do a lot of help for us. For example, if customers are requiring or asking for any specific documentation or whatnot, they can get involved, help really put the dress on it, that sort of thing, and assist us that way. So I think the partnership between the two is definitely important.
Yeah, it's so critical. I mean, there's so many different ways they can work together. Obviously, lead gen is important. I mean, your sales reps want to have, high quality leads, high intent buyers, high educated buyers. That's a part of the marketing to get that done. Yeah. But I also think about this too. When I was in sales, after a while, you start to know what the objections are going to be. You start to know where the hangups are going to be. And you want your marketing team to know that so they can create content for that. So they can create different aspects that are going to help you out with that. I mean, how cool would it be to have a video queued up that handles a direct objection and somebody gives it to you and you send a follow-up email saying it's great meeting with you today. Looking forward to our conversation on Tuesday. In the meantime, watch this quick video real quick. I thought this would really be helpful based on our conversation today. And that just tackles the objection that they might have or the challenge or the question that they might have. Marketing doesn't know that if they're not talking to sales, and there's just so many ways that the teams can work together. And I'll throw another hot take out there. I think everybody in your organization is a part of the sales and marketing team in some form or fashion. Anybody who's on the phone with a vendor, on the phone with a carrier, on the phone with a broker, on the phone with a customer, sending out emails, every interaction you have with somebody is building your brand and convincing someone that they want to keep or start working with you. Every one of them is, Absolutely. So I think it's incredibly critical, but certainly sales and marketing have got to work together. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are tackling that.
Absolutely. Product is the other important component of that too, as well.
You got to have a good product. If you don't have a good product, the sales and marketing will only last you about 30 days until they figure out the product's no good and then you're done. So, having a good product is important. And honestly, I've sold for companies that had not great products and it's really, really hard. It's hard to last. Because eventually the word gets out that this just doesn't work. And that's kind of how it goes. All right, Brandon. Hey, listen, thanks so much for being on the show today. Really enjoyed having you on here to talk about your experience over at Denim. Look forward to seeing you out there on the road, maybe at some shows coming up. And until next time, man, we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for coming.
Yep, Trey, thank you so much, man.
And everybody else, thanks for being here today. Appreciate you watching the show and you checking us out. Now, I do have something to say. We have no shows next week. No shows next week because I'm taking my lovely family on vacation. We're taking a little road trip down to Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana, West Monroe, Louisiana, Hot Springs, Arkansas, Branson, Missouri. Having a good time, a little loop from the St. Louis area. So no shows next week. But listen, tomorrow is Friday, and you know that. So it's Finish Strong Friday. Make sure you come back at noon for Word on the Street with our good friend Dawn Salvucci-Favier joining us. She lost a bet, everybody. So she's paying up tomorrow on the show, and you're going to be here for that. So make sure you come back tomorrow, and we'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Peace.